In this video, I'll be giving you the ultimate guide to glowing up your mindset before the end of 2024. I love a good physical glow up, but honestly, none of those changes are sustainable if you aren't in a good place mentally. And genuinely working on your mental health and making sure that your mind is a healthy and happy place to be and live in is so important to everything that you do. Everything we do, our values, the things we believe in, our thoughts, all of those start up here and flow into our actions and behaviors. So it's really important that you're working on your mental health constantly. It is not something that you can achieve and stop doing once you're happy or once you're in a healthy place. I don't want you to think that this is going to be a quick fix. It's a journey, and every small step you take is going to get you closer to a healthier and more positive mindset so that your life can be transformed. So I'm not going to sit here and explain to you why mental health is important, because if you clicked on this video, then I'm pretty sure you know that it is important. Throughout the video, I'm going to be sharing 8 things that I did that helped me switch up my mindset completely throughout this year. We're going to be looking inwards and talking about things like thought management and mindfulness, and then looking outwards and looking more at healthy daily habits and building and maintaining strong relationships. So go grab a little notebook, because what you're not gonna do is watch this video and think it's enough to change your whole life, okay? We're gonna get a notebook and you're gonna write things down. I don't care what you write down, whatever sticks with you, whatever you think you need to improve on, whatever speaks to you. Write that down. Before we get into all of that, hi, my name is Tiana. If this is the first time that you are seeing one of my videos or even coming across my channel, hello and welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back, babe. I'm happy to have you here, okay? You're here for the correct video, so make sure you watch until the end, okay? We're in an era where we're constantly consuming media and being overstimulated by our mindless scrolling. We tend to fill our free time or even silence with going on TikTok, watching a YouTube video. Continue watching this one, okay? We're watching YouTube videos, watching shows, literally just continuing to consume information, and it's so straining to our brains because we don't give them a break. So I wanted to start out by speaking about mindfulness, because this is really a practice that I genuinely didn't even know of. So the first thing that I want to tell you that will improve your mental health is to put your phone down. I don't know if your mom said this to you too, but you know when you have a headache and then you go tell your mom and she's like, it's your phone. She wasn't lying. Put your phone down. Unless you need to be on your phone, don't be on your phone. Spending time alone without being on your phone has to be one of the scary and most difficult things to do. I'll be bored and the first thing I do is pick up my phone and I'm scrolling, you know, and then 10 minutes turns into an hour, and an hour turns into 2 hours, and etc. But the issue with that is that it really disconnects you from your surrounding. It disconnects you from people. You end up filling all your silent time, or all the time that you have alone that you could be using to do something else, with just scrolling. I think a lot of the times, at least with myself, I tend to do this mindlessly, and that's kind of counterproductive for yourself. To slowly start incorporating mindfulness into my days, I would be on the bus and decide not to scroll or not to listen to music, and really just be present in the moment. And I know, yeah, I'm not trying to listen to the air and all the conversations happening in the bus, but you'll be so surprised on how many things that you see, how many things that you hear. I would also try to eat my meals without having a phone on me or without watching a show, and I found that it made me savor the food a lot more. I think I was a lot more appreciative of the food that I was eating as well. I also found that eating like that gave me another 30 minutes of time where I could just sit with my thoughts and really just either plan or think, or I don't know, just let my mind wander, basically. The last thing I tried to do was to stop using my phone before bed, which this one has to be the most difficult, because I'm a scroller, especially in bed. What I liked about it was that before I went to bed, I think I went to bed with a lot of peace of mind. It was easier for me to fall asleep as well if I wasn't on my phone before bed. So another thing that I did was working on my thought management skills and my self-compassion. Your thoughts have a really big impact on your emotions and your actions, so learning how to manage them can really improve your mental well-being and overall outlook on life, because thoughts lead to emotions, which leads to behaviors. Being able to recognize negative thoughts or self-critical thoughts and reframe them to something positive is something that has really changed my life and helped me navigate situations in such a better way. And I say it's a skill because this is truly something that you're not born with. First, I had a really hard time even being able to recognize my negative thoughts or self-critical thoughts. That goes to show how bad it was, in my opinion, because it was somewhat normalized inside my head to think that way, and that's an issue, because the first step is to be able to recognize that you're having negative thoughts or self-critical thoughts. If you can't recognize them and recognize that it's a problem, then there's no way that you would want to fix it or even be able to fix it. I now try and use 3 steps to try and manage and work on my thoughts. The first thing, like I said, is to recognize the thought, so make sure you're paying attention to what you're thinking. The second step would be to challenge and reframe it. So is this thought based on an assumption or is it based on facts? and from there you want to change it to something positive. So instead of, let's say, beating yourself up because you only scored like 5 points, you can reframe that and say, actually, I only scored 5 points, but I contributed so much on defense. The third step is to practice positive self-talk. So this is replacing negative thoughts with affirmations and positive statements about yourself. When it comes to self-compassion, it's something that I've genuinely struggled with. So beating yourself up for making a mistake, or putting yourself down really in any way for just not, let's say, meeting your own standards, or I don't know, just literally just beating yourself up for not no reason, but for reasons that you shouldn't have to. So often we extend kindness and understanding and forgiveness to others, and that's a beautiful thing, but we don't give ourselves the same level of compassion, and that can be so detrimental. In this world where so many things can be against you, you really need to be your own biggest fan and your own best friend. Give yourself grace like you would anyone else, and allow yourself to feel and be present in your emotions without judgment. Also understand that you are human, you make mistakes, and that you are not alone. Every time you have a critical thought about yourself, I want you to think about whether you would ever say that to one of your friends, or whether you would say that to one of your family members, or if you would say that to your partner. I want you to think of that, and if the answer is no, you wouldn't, then why are you saying it to yourself? Something that I've seen people do to improve their self-compassion and to kind of reduce the number of negative or self-critical thoughts that they have is to have a baby picture of yourself in a mirror. And when you have a negative thought or a self-critical thought, you go to the mirror and you say it to your baby picture, because essentially that's who you're saying these things to. You are saying it to yourself. Practicing gratitude is something that I started to do as well that helped me. I then got this journal. It's a gratitude journal, but when I started this, it was just like on a notebook or like on my iPad or something. Practicing gratitude really helped me focus more on the things that I have rather than the things that I was trying to achieve or trying to reach for, or literally just that I didn't have. I think it's really easy to focus on the things that you can't do, can't give, can't accomplish, like just don't have. It's so easy to focus on those things and lose sight or even be ungrateful for the things that you do have. I find gratitude so important because generally you're never going to be blessed with more unless you take care of and appreciate what you have and where you are in the moment. And focusing on things that you don't have, or focusing on the future, or even ruminating on the past can really cause a lot of stress and anxiety because you're so focused on where you're trying to go and not, once again, being in the moment. I feel like the thing that keeps coming up with a lot of these is really just being present. So every morning or every night I would write down about 2 to 5 things that I was grateful for that day, and I would try to make it specific. So not something like I'm grateful for the sun. We can make it something specific, like I'm grateful for my friend who goes to school with me every morning because I have that company. Yeah, practicing gratitude just made me so much more thankful for the people and the things that I have in my life right now. There's less of a focus and there's less of a stress on the future and what I'm trying to achieve or what I don't have. We hate to hear it, but physical activity actually does have an impact on your mental health. So the 5th thing that I worked on was having healthy daily habits. You want to make sure that you are exercising or engaging in some kind of physical activities for at least 30 minutes a day. Notice how I said physical activity and not going to the gym. That's because I want you to understand that physical activity can be anything. Going to the gym is one form of physical activity, but you can also dance, walk, cycle, swim, run. The possibilities are endless. So I say physical activity because I really want you to choose something that you enjoy, something that you can do consistently, because what's the point of doing something that you don't like? Like time is limited. There's no time to be doing things that you don't enjoy. Join a dance studio, do some yoga, but don't cut out physical activity as a whole, thinking that it can only be one thing. And of course, nutrition is just as important. Drink your water, make sure you're eating a balanced diet, because being hangry is really not a vibe and it's not cute. And trust me, I'm a hangry person. And your body needs fuel to function. So make sure that you are nourishing it so that you're able to go through your day and, you know, do all of those things on your nice little long to-do list. Make sure you eat so that you can get those things done, okay? Don't play about your food. Don't play about your diet. Don't play about none of that. Take care of yourself, nourish your body. Your body gets you to move and do things every single day. Treat it like the superstar that it is, because without your legs, without your body, you would not be doing anything, okay? Another thing that I did that I would say changed my life the most out of all the things on this list is going to therapy. Going to therapy was such a game changer for me because through it, I was able to address so many issues that I didn't think were an issue or that I had been ignoring for a really long time. Having an unbiased person to talk to and help you navigate your thoughts and emotions is genuinely so unmatched, because you can really express yourself in the most raw and pure form without being afraid of being judged. Honestly, it's an open space where you can just speak. You could also do that with a friend if your relationship is open enough for you to express yourself freely. Sometimes you need to talk about things that might take a toll on someone else, or some things that are a little bit just emotionally charged, but sometimes you might not want to put an emotional burden on your friend. So having that option of going to therapy and talking about it there really just changed my life. Through therapy, I was able to improve my self-esteem. I learned how to deal with my emotions a lot better, and it helped me start to change my mindset, because through the conversations we were having, I was able to reflect on so many different aspects of my life that I didn't think affected who I am and who I'm becoming, basically. I was fortunate enough to be able to do that through my university, so it was completely free. I did that for the whole semester, and I don't have a therapist now, and genuinely it's the pits, okay? I need to find one. Another place that I've heard of a lot is BetterHelp. So if you're looking for something virtual, I guess that's an option. The 7th thing I did was really just working on building and maintaining strong relationships. So you want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who love you, people who you can lean on in times of need, people who want the best for you. If you have people in your life who you feel like maybe don't want the best for you, or don't give you as much as you give them, or even people who just drain your energy, make sure you're setting boundaries, and make sure you're saying no when you're not able to do something, so that you're not overextending yourself to people who wouldn't even do the same for you. But in the same way, you should want to be the kind of friend that you would want to have. So don't fall into any routines of just doing the bare minimum, where it's like, I don't know, you're texting or seeing your friend once or twice in, I don't know, 3 months. If you value that relationship, make sure you're putting enough effort into it so that it can grow and last a really long time, because we are social beings. At the end of the day, all the connections that we make, all of the relationships that we have are very fulfilling, and they make us happy. People make us happy. Don't let anyone tell you that being lonely is the way to go. 4 things that have helped me improve my relationships are active listening. So this is really listening and paying attention to what the person is telling you, understanding how they feel, and properly engaging into conversations. The second thing is random acts of kindness, and I found that this was such a nice way for me to show people that I love them. The third thing is that I started to be more vulnerable. I think as a person I can be a little bit closed off, because building a strong relationship requires you to let people in. So I did have to be a lot more vulnerable than I was being before. The 4th thing I did was just being more intentional in everything that I did with my friends, family, or partner. The last thing I did that really improved my mental health is prioritizing self-care. This is for my girlies that will do everything under the sun before they take care of themselves, okay? I am one of them. In order for you to be able to show up for people and be able to show up as your best self, you really do need to take care of yourself, because everything that flows from you and everything that you're able to do for others is gonna come from where you are as a person. If your cup is half empty, you can't pour into someone else's cup, because yours is empty. You're just gonna make it emptier and emptier and emptier, okay? Stop neglecting yourself to do things that are more important, because you are important. Your well-being is important. So I would try to incorporate at least 15 minutes of self-care into, let's say, a day, or even just have it like a self-care Sunday where you're doing mass, relaxing. If to you self-care is doing skincare, taking a long bath, making sure you put on all your body oils and lotions and things like that at the end of your day, then that's what self-care is for you. It can look like anything, it can be anything, it doesn't have to be expensive either. Just make sure that you are in some way investing in yourself and taking care of yourself. So those are all the things that I did to kind of improve my mental health. This video is just a starting point. So if you're interested in seeing more videos like this, make sure you give it a thumbs up and just let me know in the comments so I know exactly what to do for you. I've included a 30-day guide in my description that you can follow if you want to work on all the different aspects that I touched on throughout the video. I'll put a screenshot of 1 week so that you can see what kind of activities would be included in it. It's completely free. All you have to do is hit the link in the bio and you'll have access to it. Feel free to skip anything on the guide that you might not want to do, but I would encourage you to do all of it, because all of it is helpful in some way. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you take a few things away from it. If you've made it to this point in the video, you're actually such a G. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.